Dibs on these kittens!
As she attacks him, Zuko, of course, moves out of the way because he knows how she is. She, of course, ignored him because, well, he's how he is, and he decided to go over to Kota. And, well, some of the classmates were asking about Kota, and Kota was, of course, mad at them about everything that has happened to him. But when Zuko finally showed up to Kota, he kneels down and, well, hold out a fist. And Kota hold out his fist, and they bump fists, which some of the people are curious about this relationship. And Zuko, of course, picked up Kota and just walked inside. They're way more curious now, and well, as the one in the blue cat, I say Ira. He was asking about Koda and, well, asking about the kid and Izuku, which Aizawa came up and told them that he's been here long enough to know about Koda, and he most of the time he was a babysitter to him. Which, of course, the girls just think it's really cute that he can take care of a kid. As they look over to Momo and say he's even great with kids, which of course make her blush and start running into the building. The Pussycats saw the first display of the well, they didn't see it. They were driving off earlier than the others. But this other time of seeing her blush and kind of running away, they asked Aizawa about her. And Aizawa said up front and bluntly that she and Izuku is dating, which of course gave them weapon to tease Izuku, since most of the time that he ever comes by, it's very hard to tease him, and that's the most fun to do with anybody. So after everybody was eating, well, basically eating their food, and Zuko's just eating his food with Koda, as well as Momo, the Pussycats came by, seeing Koda just being happier again, all like his usual self, only with Zuko. They start to tease Izuku about his little girlfriend and how pretty she is and how nice she looks and all of this other stuff. And Izuku is not minding any of this. Of course, Momo is blushing the whole time, making it hard for her to eat, even though she's turning red like one of the tomatoes she's eating. Now afterwards, Izuku tells them there's a hot spring nearby and it's all free to everybody. Which, of course, the girls are very excited, and the guys feels so much better that Zuko knows this place. So they go over to the sauna, or the bath scene. What was it? Hot spring scene. Yep, I'm doing this. The girls went into theirs, and the guys went to theirs. Now Zuko, of course, make sure his tails are staying in, and when he take off his shirt, it shows like a small lines on some of the areas. Zuko have found a way to make it, well, smaller on how they appear, but they still show faintly, of course. Now, one person kept asking about his tattoos, and Zuko explained that it's not a tattoo to Kirishima. They're just a part of his quirk, and they just stuck like that. As they're talking, Zuko looks over to the water and dipped in. Of course, he needs to train. So, during everybody was talking about anything, he was slowly pulling out his tails just to get used to it, since it's still a great pain, but he had to get used to it. Now, Manetta. He's talking about a lot of stuff, and especially the holy grail of girls on the other side. with no restrictions, no clothing, all in the bare, in the nude. And he can't help himself but to climb. As he took one step up, he felt something around his neck, and it was warm but red. He kind of stops and looks back as all the guys look at Mineta and then look back at Zuko. And Zuko's giving a very murderous grin and asks him, "Are you sure you want to be expelled just for this?" And Mineta thinks about it. And he still has it around him. And Zuko sees him thinking about it. And Zuko make it smaller, where it's actually touching his neck. And Zuko explained, "You might die first before you get expelled. Are you sure about this?" And Mineta, with all his pride, he has to say no. He does not want to die for something with. So he says, "No, I'll behave." And Zuko believes him, lets go, and was pulling his tail right back until they hear his sticky ball sticking to something. And then another. Zuko looks up and sees that Mineta is climbing the wall. Zuko, of course, getting pissed at this, jumps off using his tails and then retracting them, going over with his wings, flying higher, faster, for Mineta not to look. And he grabbed onto Mineta, covered his eyes with his, and some of his nails are kind of sharp, so it's digging into his skin, his face. Which Mineta is screaming, saying, I'm sorry, I just want to see the holy." And he felt levitation, nothing weighing him down as he opened his eyes. And to his shock, he is still flying in the sky. Zuko, with his speed, grabbed onto Mineta, pulled him up by his face, and just made him fly up higher. After he was flying, free falling, and of course going to land over to the girl's side, Zuko noticed this, he was on the wall of the boys and girls side. And he is just whip out his tail and just getting ready for the whip. As he was swinging around his tail, and when Mineta was getting just close enough, Zuko flicked it. He did a huge whip, and at the very end of the crack that made a huge sound, it hit Mineta, and Mineta was screaming, crying, yelling over to the forest, into the beast forest that still has beast. Which, of course, impressed the guys, surprising all of that in a few seconds, and the girl, of course, thanks Zuko greatly. And of course, Zuko is not, well, he knew that this was a bad position. He looks away, not looking down. Momo looks up and thanks him, but also realizes he is not wearing a towel. And all the girls, well, most of the girls that are brave enough, start to whistle and say it was an impressive package, if Momo couldn't help it but to look. But sadly, he moves out of the way, going back into his side and pretending none of that happened, as he's taking a nice soak. Okay. After all of that happened, Kota, of course, saw all of this, decided to went back down since he was told to watch for the purple midget. As the girl, of course, was leaving and getting changed, and of course wearing robes, still can hear the slight screaming of the purple-haired midget. As the guys were getting out as well. As they were getting out almost at the same time as for the girls, they can only admire and appreciate on what they are seeing. that some of their hair are still wet, a single droplet going down to their face, down to their cheek, their chin, onto their neck, down to their collarbone, into the mystery that is hidden by a few fabric. Zuko, of course, not caring for any of this, just tells them that there's other places that they can go through to relax a little bit more, especially the rooms on one side for the boys and the other side for the girls. As well, he tells everybody that he's going after Manila since he has suffered enough for the day. I'll make sure that Aizawa knows about the training. Extra training for Manila. As they heard training, they start to get worried, since Izuku, of course, is somewhat really close with Aizawa. Now the guys get over to their rooms and hang out and talk. Now the girls, they are not finished since they saw what Izuku was holding and packing and what he did for them with Mineta. Of course, they didn't need any help. It was just very entertaining. So they were talking to Momo about everything, all of the dates, what he's done, and then she let out a secret that wasn't a secret about his father and how powerful he really is. She tells them that her family is very rich, and they say, "Yeah, we know. You're the Roses. You own almost every company, big company, except for a few." And Momo said, "Yeah, that. Um, I didn't. Did you guys ever notice that he only talk about his father like his father, not say his name?" And they said, "Yeah, but isn't that like normal?" And none of them were getting it. And Momo said, "Well, yeah, that's. I was so curious about his father too, and none of it came up until he met my parents on the party where Principal Nezu was supposed to be coming. And some of them are clicking and have wide eye, realizing that Zuko and Momo connect the dots and tell them the truth. That Zuko's father is Principal Nezu. Which, of course, their jaws are dropping, very surprised, but also it's starting to make sense since he's so close to most of the teachers they are can teach by. And well, we have to leave it at that since I heard my parents being here. Dang it. Anything else? Moving on to the guys. Alright, bye.